looking at a recent example of a recommendation for a reform by one Royal Commission. Strike out Parliamentary Committee, we are not looking at those. Okay, here we go. Our goal is to examine a recent example of a recommendation for reform by one Royal Commission, and we are looking at the Lawyer X Royal Commission from Victoria. Its official name we'll cover in a sec. So draw up a know, want to know, learned chart in your books, and I just want you to fill out these 2 columns in response to this prompt. What do you know about the story? Know and want to know, and you could be filling up this column a little bit more than the others. We'll come back to this at the end of the lesson. The official name for this is the Royal Commission into the Management of Police Informants, and the reasons why it was established are here. It's because there was a criminal barrister used as a police informant, and it was through doing this, that she breached her legal obligation of confidentiality and privilege to her clients and caused a whole lot of other issues in the justice system. So she provided police with information about her clients without their knowledge, and it was used to assist in their investigations and prosecutions of the cases that they were involved in. So the ultimate snitch, if you will. When this Royal Commission was convened, and we know that this is done at the request of an Attorney General, these were the terms of reference, so the things that the Commission was tasked with looking into. Number of times and extent to which the conduct of Nicola Gobbo as a police informant affected the outcome of criminal cases, the conduct of the police in disclosing their use of Ms. Gobbo as an informant, and the effectiveness of the process of police use in governing how people's legal obligations of confidentiality are managed. Also, whether the police should use informants. Not informants in general, but informants who are also, acting with duties to those people. This is who was appointed as the chair of the commission, and within 6 months the commission had received over 130 different submissions, because that's what they do. They go out and they conduct investigations. The result led to the review of more than 20 criminal cases in which convictions were obtained as a result of Miss Gobbo, and there is one person, Farouk Orman, who was found guilty of murder. He became the first person to have his conviction overturned as a result of these investigations. Now, this is what I've added here because you need to be able to talk about the government response. Remember, governments do not have to respond to the recommendations made by Royal Commissions, but they are very likely to, since they're the ones that request them to take place. And in the latest report delivered by the Attorney General, since the Commission delivered its final report on 30 November 2020, the government's been working really hard to achieve its commitment to deliver each of the recommendations. So it's pledged to deliver all of them and to support the delivery of all 111 recommendations. As of September 2022, so last year, the government had delivered in full 23 of the 55 recommendations directed to it. All right, so that's kind of where they're up to. Now there's a bit of application. If you access the Royal Commission site that I've linked for you here, and I've given you access to these slides, just have a cruise through those recommendations. Recommendations 1 to 7 are mostly to do with establishing the commission and outlining recommendations for the Vic Police Force to basically clean up their act in the use of these kinds of human sources, informants. And this is just one that I've pulled for you to be able to add as an example. So you can read here that it says the recommendation is that the Vic government within 2 years implements legislation for Victoria Police's registration, use and management of human sources to provide a clear framework for police to obtain and use information from human sources and to ensure they are used in an ethical and justifiable manner. So no more secret barristers working for the police when they should really be only working in the interests of their clients. Essentially, so that's what's being recommended in recommendation 8. There is a video here as well embedded in the slide. If you have a look at this, it's from 7:30, so we know it's from the ABC, and I want you to watch this and fill out the learned part of your KWL chart. And when this all came out as well, the legal community was completely aghast, right, that a criminal defence lawyer had been implicated in doing these kinds of things. And also Nicola Gobbo is, I don't know what she's up to now, but I would imagine, living very far away, because all these big gangland figures that she's acted for are now incredibly angry. All right. This is just another slide reminding you of the strengths of royal commissions as a mode or a way of influencing law reform, and some of their weaknesses. So you are thinking of this as you're talking about this specific example. And then we've got here a question from a SAC that I ran in 2018, something that, like what you would find in VCAR. So provide a recent example of a royal commission and describe at least one of its recommendations for law reform. And breakdown of this, outline an example, brief points regarding one or more of the recommendations, and a bit of further detail. So you'd say something about how this came about through the Lawyer X case, or the Lawyer X story, and the need for more robust regulation of the use of police informants. A little bit more detail about this. Introduce your knowledge of recommendation 8, essentially that the police are tasked with establishing ethical guidelines for using informants. Add a bit more detail, and there you go. Have a crack at doing this now. And then we're up to the goal review. Finish this once you've dug in, read the video, and actually had a look through that source material.